Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the channel where we buy and sell comics in literally probably some of the worst ways possible. But I am actually going to try and give a bit of advice today um, because I was going to go through all the sales and all the listings and stuff. But all the listings of the comics you just seen yesterday, you can check that out on the Forbidden Planet grab bag video. And I only had one sale yesterday. And it was for an X-Men Fantastic Four comic, and I just literally asked Helen if she'd just go off and post it for me and want to hold it back just for the sake of one comic. So today we're going to talk about how I source comics, and I want to try help as many people as possible. So we're going to do it on different budgets. We're going to start with zero. We're then going to have if you have like £20, and then we're going to talk about if you have £200, and then potentially if you get up to like £2,000, what kind of deals you can and sourcing locations you can start to look at. So zero is how I would look at it. How I like to do it is I'm not doing this quickly. I know I'm not doing it quickly, but at the moment I'm just wanting to try build up a pile of cash, and I put it in one of the kind of instant saver accounts, which in the UK is basically a account with like 2 or 3% interest, but it's flexible to withdraw and deposit. So that if you do build up cash, but you haven't put that into stock yet, at least it's working for you in some way. So at the moment, like we've got up to like £3,500 just in reselling comics and other bits and bobs. And that makes us like 29p per day or something, great like that. Is it a lot? No. But in my head, I sometimes think of it as, well, that buys me a comic every second day that I can then resell into X, Y, and Z. So, zero. We've got this new bank account, we're all set up, but there's nothing in it. How do I get started with inventory? Well, you're a comic person, okay? If you don't have a comic collection yourself, you will have something around the house of value that you are not looking to get anymore. Go through your old games, go through pops, go through anything in the house, old clothing, anything, and just list it for. It doesn't even have to even be premium prices. Let's say if you could just find 10 items for £2 each, or just a value of £20 worth of stuff, and sell it on Vinted. If you can get the price you want, you're going to get £20 in your hand. That's it. From zero, you really got to just start looking at your old stuff. Got old TCG cards you want to just start shifting. You could, if you don't want to go down the Vinted route for that, take your old games, places like CEX, your local video game stores, all that kind of stuff is going to be the perfect place to just build up some kind of pot and get that ball rolling. Then, so now, like, the ball's rolling, we've got to, like, the £20 mark. When you're at the £20 mark, and you put that £20 into that account, you will probably be lucky to get, like, a penny a week from that. So we've got to try to find a way to make that grow faster with some inventory. When it comes to smaller lots that you're going to get for 20 quid, you're not going to get the best prices. Now, when we're talking about this, I don't want you to assume that you're going off my model and I just list everything for £2 and hope for the best. I want you to basically, with £20, don't just buy any bundle of comics. Buy a bundle of comics that you know. If you are a Batman buff, if you are quite heavily into Avengers and Marvel, and you know that, like, when you look at these bundles, that you would buy at least 80% of them for the price that is up there, then you kind of go for it. Places like Vinted, Facebook Marketplace would probably be where I would start looking. Let's see if we can find some on there just now, just to give you an idea of what you can sometimes find. So we're on Vinted, and I've literally just typed in comic bundles. That's what I've done, and straight away, for example, with our 20 quid budget, we could look at something like this. What have we got here? We've got 15 Suicide Squad comics listed for £15. So we're going to have to include the the buyer protection fee here, which basically is just a case of if this order was to arrive damaged or the sender doesn't send it out and he just runs away with your money, there's a little fee that you pay as the buyer to protect yourself from potentially being able to not get that money back. We always look at as many photos as you can. There's only the one photo for this one, but he does have details here. So it actually does look like they're boarded as well. They've all got a whiteboard, which is a bonus, to be honest. But what I would do is look at your postage options, what's in your area. You probably are going to be able to get these for, I think it's going to be another £2, £3 in postage. So at the moment we're looking at the full whack, £19.45. Is that amazing prices? No, but you've got 20 quid. Okay, whereas we like Suicide Squad, can we sell these to increase our money from 20 quid? Well, to be honest, even if we went with my model, for example, we'd be listing as at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. Even if they all sold at 150 each for a bundle, there's not great margin in that. But for example, I'm just looking at the buyers. You know, you can sometimes create a bundle because the killer's the postage, right? If I'm being honest, if you picked that up for, what did it say it was? It said it was £15. If you picked that up for £15, you probably could like build up some kind of profit from that. Because looks like they're bagged and boarded. You're not going to need anything. The only thing I would kind of double check is, see this one, you see a little price sticker here and here. Just double check that's on the bag, not on the actual comic, or else that's really going to knock you down. Well, let's see if there's something else that might be just better. But you could buy that. You could flip that into margins, into profit. I reckon even at £3, but if someone took the whole bundle for £2 each, you grow your £20, that in that savings account would get a penny a week into potentially 25, 30. But there might be something even better. Look at that, Justice League of America. Okay, Justice League of America 1 to 5. They've got this listed for $2.25. They're in bags. You could probably have room in your budget to get new bags. But then again, you know, once you've got the fees, postage, that's going to be £1 a pop. Nah. There's got to be something better. Okay. Let's have a look at this one. Massive comic bundle. Massive's a strong word. Yoda, my cat proved open to offers. So only thing I'd be careful about with this one, things like this, is no, that actually looks alright. I don't think that's an actual. You've got to watch that you don't get these these UK reprints, because personally for me they're not worth anything. Although that's a really cool variant with the Terminator kind of homage. So maybe that's not the best one. But we're more looking into that price because you never know. You could put an offer and get a couple quid knocked off. Oh, man, why am I? Oh, I went too far back. But, you know, you can look here, really look into it and see what you can find. And the bigger the bundle you can get from Vinted, the better it will work out for you. What can we find just to do an example. Let's have a look. Let's go back to our search of comic. Let's type in job lots. Bundles. That's the keywords I like to use. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we've got, what have we got here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think that's a preview type thing, so we want to include that. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's say 15 comics. £8 plus postage. But fair enough, they've said that the Green Lantern has an issue with a sticker stuck on the cover. Fine. And you know what? They've even got a future state bundle here at a not bad price. So, if you really want to, if you really wanted to, you could even, with your £20, try create a bundle of that, and include the Miss Marvel as well. For example, right? So we've now managed to get, say, 20 comics about the £20 mark. And then we could take time, because I mean, like, there's Superman, Lazarus, these are all comics I've sold before. I know I can't see everything, but in fact, I'm almost a little bit tempted by this one. But anyway, I'm going to leave that for one of you guys to pick up. I think some of them are already bagged and boarded as well. But anyway, once you get them, relist them on Vinted or eBay or whatever you prefer. Nice, good images, nice, clear description of what the comic is, what run it is, the years the volume went for, and just do good service of how you post them. Because I guarantee you, this is just going to come in a bundle, bubble out envelope, meh. As comic collectors, we want to see cardboard, keeping things solid. So yeah, we've taken these, we've done well, we've managed to flip them. We're now into the 30 quid territory, maybe 35 quid, potentially 40. Keep doing this again, keep building it up. We're now talking like that. We're now in the £100, £200 category. I just got a notification. I'm just curious what it is. That's Helen posting my parcel. What a delight she is. An actual delight. But yeah, so we're now at the £100, £200 mark. We'll tell you what the next step is after that. Is probably to start going into local Facebook groups, which I'll show you next. So here's an example of a Facebook group that I sometimes use. I would say this is good. You can use this when you've at the £20 kind of mark, but I think because we're in a group where people really know what they have, you are going to struggle to get good value for money on bundles at that with that kind of budget. Once you've flipped that a few times and you maybe got to the £100, £200 mark, this is where you can start coming to. So here you can say, let's see if we can find an example of people like a little bundle, little job lot. What's this person got? £3 postage for one comic. Okay, never mind. These people are selling comics, £2 each. Assortment of stuff. Looking to sell comic collection. Any offers? If it was me, what's this? Sorry, I got distracted there because, I like Ghost Rider. But you know what? If you don't want to scroll through, if it was me, I would just be like ISO. So in a lot of these groups, it means in search of. Bundle of comics. Let's say you're at the £100 mark. In search of a bundle of comics have a budget of £100, looking for approximately I don't know, where's the math? Let's say 150. Have a budget of £100, looking for a decent short box full which would be like 125 comics, 150 comics. You can specify what you want. If you're obviously going to say I want Batman and Spider-Man only, you're going to probably struggle to get as much bang for your buck. If you want to try be a bit more broad with what you're going for, you could just say Marvel or DC. You're obviously going to get more bang for your buck if you say that you'd like indie comics. But this can be the good kind of point to get, because what you've got on this site is you've got a lot of people looking to sell bits of collections to fund other purchases. You've got dealers themselves, and you've got dealers of all kind of levels. So you've got local comic book stores, you've got wholesalers, you've got acquisition people who must get pallets in from America, that type of thing. So using Facebook and groups, there's many groups like this. If you want to tailor it, there probably is groups specifically for Marvel and DC. Talking at the £100, £200 thing, you can give that forbidden grab bag thing a go. That is going to get you 120 comics for £65. If you want to give that a go and you liked what I had, as a good example, what I would say is, if I've done it once, it's really going to be like a one-trick pony for, I would say, at least a month, because if you get those comics and you sell 80% of it, and you got the cash to then do it again, I think if you did that in a week and you redid it, you're going to get the same comics before, because it's going to be batches, the same batch. Leave it a month or two, I would say, in between. We can test this. We'll maybe test this another time. But I think that's my perception of it. I think you would struggle to get variety in your stock if you do this. So now we're going to talk about what happens when you get past this point. You've now made a lot of deals. This Facebook thing could probably keep you going for quite a while. You could easily use this right through to the end if you really wanted to, but I just wanted to show you some other options you have once you are in that kind of £1,000, £2,000 budget. So this is a kind of website that I'm literally in a process of dealing with. I think this is the route you start to go down when you are talking like you're serious now. You've built up to a couple grand. You're like, right, I want a bulk load of comics. I want 1,000 comics. 2 ways you can do it. And there's pros and cons to both. The first one is this. I've basically found somebody who does these kind of bulk deals. They'll do 1,000 British comics, which is not really what I'm into, for £350. They'll do 1,000 mixed superhero comics for £350. They'll do 1,500 comics quality dealer stock, which is what we're going to be reviewing on this channel in a few weeks' time. That's $5,499. Just to let you know, they charged me £50 to post that, because that will be quite a big, heavy package. So it's $550. For 3,000, it's $999, or there's 3,000 British comics for $999. And he told me they're all bagged. So then you're now talking that your comics are now 30p each. There's things here that says they've been able to do such books such as Spawn 1 and 2 and Batman The Dark Knight Returns. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, the other option you have is you can start going into people's collections. Now, the pros and cons to this is you can get some amazing comics in some collections. But for a lot of people, it's really hard to explain to them why their 2,000 comic book collection, in their head, they're like, oh, I picked up like some variants in my time, got some number ones, they're all bagged and boarded, they all look great. And you have them who don't store them and still think they're worth that. But anyway, but you have these people who keep the comic collections nice and stuff like that, and they think, oh, I bought them for £4 each, so I'll do you deals, and you're buying them all. You can have them all at £2 each, and you're easily going to make money off that. and you have to kind of tell this person, that's not going to work for me. You'd be more looking at like 30 to 40p per comic. Depends on the collection, of course. Use your own initiative if you think there's some really big hits in here that you think you can sell for premium price, and then you can start shifting the rest of the collection at £1. You can. That's when you can maybe create bundles and sell them to people like me who will just take anything. But it depends how you want to split the collection. But you sometimes have to tell people like, I'm interested in selling this whole collection, but I'm going to be giving you 50p a comic for the 1,000 comics, and I'll give you £500 for it. And they're just like, they just don't understand that it's the risk for the dealer as well, because they got to trust that conditions are actually as you say they are. And the value of most comics to resell is not great. That £4 comic you bought is going to become a £1. 90 to 95% of them become don't go up in value. They go down. So yeah, and then you've got to trust their packaging methods. Got to trust they've been stored correctly. They might just show you the one box that was amazing, but the other 6 boxes have got water damage and things like that. So when you are doing deals on Facebook privately, my recommendation is always do PayPal, always do PayPal goods and services, never friends and family, because you have no buyer protection. And when it goes wrong, it can seriously go wrong. If you have an issue, you could just be like, look, I'm giving it back. And PayPal can deal with the refund if the seller is being difficult. So pros and cons to all these methods. I am looking forward to showing you the 1500 dealer quality stock. Hopefully it's good, but we're going to see. And that might be just something I do in the future. I might just literally every 6 months buy the 3000 job lot, and that's my sourcing problem sorted. If I'm buying 3,000 every 6 months, that's 20 listings a day I can do. Easy, right? And that will just naturally scale, because unless I'm selling 20 comics every day, my stock should increase. If my sales do start exceeding the stock of me buying 3,000 every 6 months, I'm doing okay for a side hustle. So that's my plan going forward. We'll see if the first lot's okay. Hopefully it's soon. But I hope I could help some of you with some hints and tips on how to build up a small kind of comic side hustle. But yeah, if there's anything, if there's places that I don't know that you guys find success in finding comics, comment below. Let me know where you find them, and maybe we can all help each other. But yeah, if I was any help to you, just like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.